Welcome to Beyond the Lab, a series by the Office of Career Development within the Biomedical Research, Education, and Training Department of the Vanderbilt University School of Medicine. My name is Kate Stewart. I'm here today with Renee Dawson. Thank you for coming, and you were a graduate student here at Vanderbilt, so tell me a little bit about your time training here at Vanderbilt.
Yes, hi Kate, it's nice to be here with you. I did my PhD work here at Vanderbilt under Dr. Rna Editing, and I was in the Department of Molecular Physiology and Biophysics. His primary appointment was pharmacology, so I got a nice mixture, a blend of the two. We studied the process of RNA editing, where adenosine deaminases actually modify RNA transcripts, and that can change the coding potential of messenger RNAs. So you can get multiple proteins from one mRNA transcript, and I thought that was fascinating.
So what did you do? What was your path after that?
After I finished my PhD, my husband was already here at Vanderbilt doing the first couple of years of his postdoc. And so we didn't want to divide up, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a traditional postdoc. The only lab at Vanderbilt that I was really keenly interested in was the lab of Susan Wente. She had just arrived, and she'd come in as chair of the Department of Cell and Developmental Biology. And to be honest, I was intimidated. So given that I wasn't sure I wanted to do the traditional postdoc and I was intimidated by her, I took a break and I went home to think about alternative career paths. And in the midst of that, I submitted my CV to HR here at Vanderbilt to see if there were any staff positions that might work with how I saw myself evolving in a career, which was kind of as a team leader, research coordinator, that sort of a thing, versus academic tenure track. And lo and behold, Susan Wente found my CV and called me. So I've been with her now for 13 years.
Okay.
And she's transitioned here at Vanderbilt a great deal, and my role in her lab has transitioned a great deal as well.
Okay.
But it's been a fun ride.
So tell me your title.
My title is Senior Research Specialist.
Okay.
Which is kind of a catch-all for a senior staff level position. Every senior research specialist that I know does a completely different thing wherever they are.
Okay.
In my case, I'm basically the team leader, the research manager for the entire team under Susan's research program.
Okay.
Since she's now provost of the university, she's able to meet with us about twice a week, have small one-on-one meetings with her trainees, and then have a group meeting every week as well. And in the interim, when she's off doing provost work, I'm able to stand somewhat in her stead, although nobody can stand in Dr. Wente's shoes entirely.
Sure.
So I mentor our trainees. I provide them input on a daily basis on their strategies and approaches, troubleshooting, those sorts of things. And in addition, I search the literature for new approaches, grant opportunities. I write grants and write manuscripts and do all the editing. So a little bit of everything, but with a mentor at the helm to kind of take all the heat.
So how is this a good fit for you personally with your skill set?
I think my biggest assets are my ability to problem solve and manage people. I have a very calm demeanor. I don't easily get my feathers ruffled. And so that's great when you're trying to diffuse interpersonal issues within a research group and trying to get people to work together as a team in order to propel the research forward. So that works well. And then by the time problems get to me, since we have generally senior level people in our group, the easy ones have already been solved. I get the hard ones, and so they're a challenge, and that's what I really enjoy. We put our heads together and we try to work through whatever the issue might be, get over the hump and avoid the pitfall and keep moving forward.
Okay. So how much of your role do you do the actual science at the bench?
I no longer do much science at the bench. I do occasional pilot projects, and every once in a while we'll take on a new strategy in the laboratory. So for instance, I recently developed a collection of 96 well plates for an enormous set of tools that we've developed over the years. So I was the one at the bench, generating that collection of 96 well plates. But I tend to be at the computer working away on keeping our research moving forward and keeping those manuscripts ready to go out the door and those kinds of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are some of the skills that you needed to hone after you left Vanderbilt that you received in this role?
definitely the people management
Right.
issue. I certainly didn't have any opportunity to do that as a graduate student.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, learning how to work with different personalities, and also learning that a big part of people management has to do with identifying the blinders that they have on their own perspective,
Mm-hmm.
the ways in which their viewpoint is myopic, and getting them to open that viewpoint and broaden their perspective. And I think that's really the magic key to bring the best out in everyone.
Mm-hmm. So tell me some of the activities that you would encourage a graduate student or postdoc to partake if they're interested in following a path like you took.
I would say really follow your gut, your own intuition about what your strengths are and how you see those translating into a role, whether it be in academics or biotech or wherever it might be, education. Follow your gut and then look for opportunities to develop those skills. There are so many opportunities available these days. When I was coming up, there weren't hardly any resources for learning about alternative careers, and now if you want to be a management person in the sciences, there are workshops for that. There are evening sessions that you can go to. So search those out and be proactive and make the effort. I have seen some extraordinary CVs come out of Vanderbilt attached to graduate students and postdocs, where they have really included an enormous body of education that they've taken on and obtained themselves through those extramural activities.
Mm-hmm. So you do some hiring, you do some
Yes,
managing.
I do.
What are some of the things that you wish some of your applicants would know when they're interviewing for positions?
Yeah, so I think that it's the rare applicant that comes in and confidently speaks about what they know best. And so I think that I would tell them that rather than try to be good at everything and claim to be good at everything, drive home what your real skills are. Show me how you really work. Give me examples of how you really accomplish things on a daily basis. Be honest and frank, and advocate for yourself in a really, truly confident and honest way. And that's going to make the best impression.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Tell me about how your work-life balance fits with this role.
So work-life balance is essential. I've always tried to maintain a certain number of hobbies. My late husband and I were huge music fans, so I would go out to concerts and take part in what Nashville has to offer in the music world. And I'm an avid gardener and reader, and I think that those personal activities are essential to giving your brain a break from what you're doing in your work, what you're pouring your passion into on a daily basis. I've seen burnout with some of my trainees where they tried to dive too hard into the work and didn't give themselves that break. And you end up becoming very myopic, and you start missing things. You start missing the quality control in your work. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it's essential to take that time for yourself.
Okay, good. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.